now rocking with the best. Debates get hot, boy, I am so many fresh. I talk cash money like I'm Birdman. Tackle topic straight on, no swerving. All facts is what I'm serving. No one's better or more deserving than me. I bring that heat like Miami on a whole nother level like Otani. I prove points by helping you visualize, using data that's analyzed by eagle eyes. Get your mind right and act like you know. You are now tuned into the Real Untouchable podcast.
Hey, what it do, sports world, and welcome to the Real Untouchable podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all. I want to talk about Shedeur Sanders. What happened when they blew out the stadium against Nebraska? Did he throw his offensive line under the bus? Now, I'm going to show y'all the video, and y'all can be the judges for yourself. Because I think people feel like I'm so hard on Shedeur, but I just want to hold Shedeur accountable. Because a lot of people say he could be the Heisman Trophy winner. A lot of people say he can be the number one overall pick in next year's draft. So if you're going to be the face of somebody's franchise, I don't think that NFL teams want to hear you talking about how bad your offensive line is. But listen, before I get started, man, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and also the share button. And make sure y'all give me your feedback on what you all think about this segment. But let's go ahead and jump into this thing. Did Colorado University star quarterback Shedeur Sanders throw his offensive line under the bus after this blowout loss against Nebraska? Now, he was asking the media. Now, the media set him up for this. The media set this up, and he fell for it. The one thing I could honestly say, I wish that his father could have talked to him before he went out there to give this interview and told him. Because one thing about Deion, now, everybody know I'm really critical of Deion Sanders. I talk about him. But at the end of the day, I can't doubt how good the man is when it comes down to him when he's behind that mic. One thing he's going to do, he's going to pick his words right. He's going to say the right thing. He's going to answer the question just like he's supposed to answer the question. And I think that this right here is something that Shedeur Sanders have to learn. He's going to learn it. But this one time right here, and he's done this a couple times, was throw his offensive line up under the bus. Now, he left the stadium early. Now, Deion clarified this yesterday, saying that there was another player that was in front of Shedeur. Nobody saw that player. I saw the video from multiple angles, and I did not see another player in front of him. Maybe I was just overlooking it, but maybe. But I did not see another player in front of Shedeur Sanders as he walked into that locker room. But I'm going to let y'all see the video, and we're gonna discuss this video. And do y'all feel that he threw his offensive line up under the bus with the statements that he made? This right here is the video.
Times did Raiola get touched?
You said what?
How many times did Raiola get touched?
And now Raiola is Dylan Raiola, one of the top quarterbacks in the nation that came out of high school this past year. He's the quarterback from Nebraska. A lot of people compare him to Patty Mahomes, including myself. I said that the kid was like Patty when he was a junior in high school. That is who he's talking about. Dylan Raiola is the quarterback for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and he's asking the media how many times did Dylan Raiola get touched. Let's go.
There was able, like, of course, whenever you're able to run the ball consistently, and whenever you're able to, then that opens up the pass, you know. But it's just like you got to understand like what your team good at. So it's like, why would we keep running the ball if we out there and we get in a situation where.
I'm gonna stop it right there. I think after he said, how many times did Raiola get touched? And he asked him the second time, how many times did Raiola get touched? Then he thought about what he was saying. And as you can see, how his body language kind of changed, how he tried to change everything up. Now, that was good by him, but it was already too late. Because once he asked them, how many times did Raiola get touched, he pretty much now already throwing his offensive line up under the bus, saying that Dylan Raiola never got touched. While I was getting beat up back there. Now, did he get beat up? He did. But at the end of the day, Nebraska defensive line is really, really good. People should have paid attention to this defensive line. This right here was one of the best defensive lines. Well, one of the top defensive lines coming back. You know, you got to understand, this team right here returned, I think, all four of their starters from last season. This right here was a really, really good defensive line. And this right here is what I'm talking about. he kind of caught himself. He kind of knew that he had already messed up when he said, how many times did Raiola get touched? How many times did Raiola get touched? It was already over with. But let's go ahead and finish the video.
Where it's a must get and we don't get it.
Right. Are those kind of like 4th and 1 conversions that haven't gone your guys' way in the last couple of, is that kind of playing into everybody's mind? Is that kind of something on your mind when thinking about, advancing the ball and whatnot?
Nah, I'd rather, if we're going to go down, I'd rather go down swinging, honestly, because I know I could throw the best punch.
He's full of, no, you can't. No, you definitely can't throw the, hey, I like Shedeur Sanders. A lot of people think I don't. A lot of people think I'm hating on him. A lot of people think I just dislike him because he's young. I just want to hold him accountable. That's all I want to do, is hold Shedeur Sanders accountable. And that is why I hate when people interview. Every time I interview Shedeur Sanders, they always let him off the hook. They don't ask him the question that you're supposed to ask him. Like, interviewer yesterday asked him a question. Hey, do you think that they pretty much set you up with that question? Yeah, but you had already threw your team up under the bus. First of all, the media threw him up under the bus because that's all they talk about. When he threw that pick six, was that on the offensive line? No, it wasn't. Was that on? They pretty much the media blamed the wide receiver. Everybody know that was Shedeur Sanders' fault. Everybody know that Shedeur Sanders did not read that cornerback, and that's why he threw that pass. He threw that pass right to that cornerback. We got to start holding him accountable, and that's the problem that I got with everybody that wants to interview him. See, they're gonna ask him the questions that they feel like he's gonna already know the answers to because they want to get the next interview. And I respect that. I ain't gonna even lie, because if I was there, I would probably do the same thing because I want to get another interview with him. Because guess what? He's gonna most likely be a top 5 pick. But I'm gonna tell y'all what's something that's going on right now. And y'all can be mad. Y'all can say whatever you want to say. I'm hating or whatever. But I think Shedeur Sanders' stock is dropping. I think that his stock is dropping fast. Because NFL teams are looking and they're paying attention to him. And they're trying to see, is this right here is a quarterback that can represent my franchise. That he's not. Listen, I remember one season that Joe Barrow was destroyed his rookie season. He was destroyed behind that offensive line. I did not one time hear Joe Barrow come out there and talk about the other quarterback. How did the other quarterback get touched? Did you want to know why? Because you're playing with grown men now. You're not playing with college students. You're playing with grown men. And that's right there what Shedeur have to understand. Next year, you won't have your father there to protect you. You're not going to have your dad that control every narrative that you go through. You won't have that. You're going to have grown men that's going to be blocking for you. And guess what? It could be the New York Giants. It could be the New England Patriots. It could be, that ain't going to be the Patriots. We already got a quarterback. But it could be one of those top teams towards the top. And guess what? Their offensive line is horrible. Guess what? Carolina Panthers right now. Bryce Young is going through that situation right now. Not one time have I heard Bryce Young talk about how bad his offensive line is. But guess what? The media is blaming Bryce Young, saying that Bryce Young is a broken star. He's a broken player right now. But they not once come and said that Bryce Young offensive line is horrible, which it is. And everybody knows that the offensive line is horrible. And that's right there what Shedeur Sanders is going to have to deal with next season. It is what he's going to have to deal with. He's not going to be able to run to the media and talk about his offensive line. Because guess what? You got 340 pounds that probably put balls on you. Like, I don't want to, I ain't talking about no violence, but I'm just saying. See, you got college students that's okay with you bashing. Is they offensive line bad? Yes, they are. Guess what? It's a lot of teams in the NFL offensive line bad. The Arizona Cardinals offensive line is bad. The Carolina Panthers, the New England Patriots offensive line is really not that good. A lot of teams have terrible offensive line. Yeah, Joe Barrow offensive line is still terrible. Look at how many NFL quarterbacks, and that's what I'm rating you up against. I'm not rating you up against college players anymore. Because guess what? You're a senior. The next year, you will be in the NFL. And that is the reason why I'm saying this right now. Because guess what? Next season, nobody want to hear nothing about Shedeur Sanders talking about how bad his offensive line is. Guess what? It's going to be just like Bryce Young. You need to go out there and you need to perform. And if you don't, they're going to talk about how bad your play is. Because he played horrible against Nebraska. But nobody talked about that. Everybody talked about how bad his offensive line was. And that's what something that's done. See, they right now in college, your father, Colorado, they can control the narrative. You go to New York, you can't control no narrative. You can't control that media. That's the one thing you can't do at the next level. And that's right there what I think Shedeur needs to understand that when he gets to that next level, it's about what you do when you out there on that field. They don't care that you get hit 15 times a game. They don't care about that. Do you honestly think they care about these quarterbacks that have terrible offensive lines? Think about how terrible the offensive line was when Cam Newton was in Carolina. Think about the terrible offensive line that Andrew Luck had when he was with the Indianapolis Colts. Why do you think he ended up retiring early? They did not start getting offensive linemen until Andrew Luck was pretty much already done. He was already broken. And that's the same thing that's happening right now with Bryce Young. He's almost broken. So I don't want to hear nothing about Colorado offensive line. Because guess what? The same thing he's facing right now in Colorado is the same thing he's going to face unless he gets drafted by one of those teams like the 49ers, the Cowboys, one of those top teams that got one of those big offense that got all those great offensive linemen on their team, which he probably won't. So I don't want to hear nothing about offensive line. He needs to go out there and perform and stop throwing his offensive line up under the bus. Because I'm going to tell you something. It's only the second game of the season. The line's going to get tired of hearing you sit there in the media and bash the game after game after game. And they just going to stop blocking for you. So, and God forbid that to happen. But if you're sitting there going to the media talking about me every single game, I'm going to tell you something. I'm done with it. I might do the exact same thing and say, you know what? You want to talk about us? You've seen in a given Sunday. You've seen what they did to Jamie Foxx when he wanted to go out there and bash the linemen and they stopped blocking for him. What happened? That was a movie. Yeah, he got down. He survived without his offensive lineman for a couple plays. But I'm gonna tell you something: you can't survive without the big ball up front. Take accountability. You left the game early. Now, your father said yesterday that you left the game early to go get checked out. This is the problem I got with Shedeur Sanders, dog. Before I leave, this right here, what I got to say. This is the problem that I got. You do that when you win. Front run. But when you lose, you're on the bench. Sad. Be humble when you win. Be humble when you lose. Nobody will call you out then. If you're humble when you win, but if you're going around the whole stadium doing this right here, everybody gonna hold you accountable. They're gonna be waiting for you to fall. And I heard a scout say this week. I heard a scout say this. He said that Deion Sanders really don't care about nobody on that team. But Travis Hunter, he's too old. I agree with that. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I think that Deion Sanders has accomplished what he wanted to accomplish. He went to an HBCU, turned that franchise, turned that school around. And now he's at Colorado. He got the fans back in him. He got the eye back on the college team, on Colorado. Because a lot of people really didn't care about it. And I think that Deion Sanders really don't care whether he gets fired. He's going to say the right things because when his sons leave and Travis Hunter leave, do he have another dog that's coming in that's going to amount to his son and Travis Hunter? They're at the bottom right now of the recruit. I think they like number 94 in recruiting right now. Where's he going to get another dog at like Travis? Where's he going to get another dog at like his son, Shedeur Sanders? Where's he going to get another quarterback? Unless he can steal Julian Lewis, which I don't think he's going to be able to steal him. I don't think he's going to be able to steal Julian, from the quarterback from Georgia. I don't think he's going to be able to steal him from USC. Because that USC quarterback, because he's looking at what USC is doing right now. He knows that Lincoln Riley can change his life. Why would I go to Colorado? I'm just saying. So, that being said, y'all tell me what y'all think about this Shedeur Sanders situation. Do y'all think that he threw his offensive line up on the bus? Do y'all think that Deion Sanders is on his way out? Do y'all think that they're going to get tired of him making excuses and all these quotes? You know, it's only so many quotes that you're going to be able to do. People want to see wins, especially when they pack in these stadiums. I'm going to tell y'all something. They lose against Colorado State this week, which could happen. He's going to be on the hot seat. I know it's his second season. But have we not seen coaches in their second season that's on the hot seat already? Yeah, we see a coach that's in their first season that's on the hot seat already. Auburn head coach in his second season, Hugh Freeze, is he not on the hot seat? They gonna say they're gonna fire him, but that seat getting hot. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Until next time, man. Thank y'all again for listening to the Real Untouchable podcast with me right here. Until next time. Peace.